Maybe one day they will.
Maybe one day they'll give me some strings, or yeah.
There you go, strings, picks, or something a little bit more valuable.
Pirates. So that's Captain Steve.
Hey, Captain
This
Steve.
place is great.
Is it it says hideaway. What is that? Like a pub or something?
Check it out.
Oh, the summertime has come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather.
23 miles north.
Hmm.
So if you're up there and doing the Salmon Fest with the Horseshoes boys.
Of course, I was planning that next weekend.
I don't know if they've called my cousin and uncle yet, but and big fish out there. Big fish.
I don't fish. I know I'm from Wisconsin. I should.
It's okay. This guy is cool though, Matt Kitsky. He's a fan, and it was like the first time I said that I was opening up for advertising. He's like, dude, here's my $50.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? And it's like, this is his time of year too. I mean, I'm looking at some ice dams on the roof, and I'm going, man, that sucks to deal with those things. But we'll see. I should have changed this one. These people have like a turkey bowling homemade soup thing today on the ice.
Oh.
I should have been relevant and changed this, but I didn't.
We always think of those in the wrong moments. Kind of like comebacks when someone says something nasty and you think of.
For quite a while, guys. Know anybody who wants to adopt a 6-year-old terrier bull mix?
This dog is still up for adoption?
Been pet of the week for like 5 weeks.
Oh, come on.
Right?
No, we have a dog. I'm good with the one. That is a lot of thank yous.
Right.
I saw that when I was watching one of your videos.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Well, you know, from last year since I began doing the live streaming, anytime anybody made a donation, I just snagged their name and added them to the list.
So it's just grown.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot of donations.
Yeah.
Is this a regular, like once every Saturday, or is this the Tuesdays usually? When's it live usually?
I have been doing Thursdays with this program format.
Ah.
When I first started with my buddy, we were doing Wednesday night gigs. Like, it was our gig because we used to play a supper club every Wednesday.
Aw.
So instead of that, we get together here in the living room, and that was what started the everything. And whereas like the paid ad sponsors are more like with the Midwest Music Hour format. But
Almost 10 years ago, we met as counselors at a Bible camp in northern Wisconsin. With a banjo, guitar, and mandolin, we started them Coolie Boys. Over the years, the family's grown, be it in fans or in members, but it all started with 3 guys and their version of the truth.
Over the years, we've gone from playing at coffee shops and city parks to festivals and some of the country's most historic stages. We've toured with Trampled by Turtles, shared stages with John Fogerty and Sam Bush, and played hundreds of shows a year. In 2020 alone, we played on a cruise ship, were named Milwaukee Journal Sentinel's Band to Watch and nominated as a Wisconsin Area Music Industry's Band of the Year.
When the music stopped along with everything else, we had energy with no place to put it. With close to 100 shows canceled, we also had time. We took those two things and put them towards creating a record. It's art that speaks about what's mattered the most to us through it all. Family, both chosen and by blood. There's an energy to it, a pulse we felt when we couldn't go play shows this last year.
Created here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, it's produced and engineered by Eau Claire native Brian Joseph, who produced Bon Iver's Grammy-winning self-titled record and also worked with Paul Simon and Sufjan Stevens. Inspiration was everywhere on this record, from the equipment that we used to the environment that we recorded it in, and we took full advantage of all of that. We didn't have anything to prove going into this record, and you can definitely hear that when you listen to it. These songs feel so much more special to us because they're about the things that we love most.
We know that we need a great record to send out to venues and festivals so we can get back out on the road this year. But making a great album is expensive. There's the recording cost, the mixing cost, the mastering, the physical production of the CDs and the vinyls, and also we're hiring a national promoter so we can get these songs out to as many people as possible. That's why we're asking you, our fans, to help turn this dream into a reality. We have so many ways to support us on this Kickstarter and get closer to the band, so check out the reward levels featuring music, merch, and handmade items from all of us.
Through the years, you've always taken time to talk with us at the merch table and tell us about why this music is important to you.
We truly love each and every one of you who has made this life possible for us.
Please help us make this record in the way we know it should be, without compromise.
We love you all very much, and we miss you a lot, and we'll see you down the road.
Let's see if we got something. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special edition of the Midwest Music Hour. I'm your host, Scott Kirby. I'm joined today in the living room with Jerrika Mighelle. How are you doing, Jerrika?
I'm doing really, really good. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited to have you here in the house, in the living room for this special session for WXPR. It's part of our Produced at Home concert series. You know, everything that we're doing during the pandemic to keep people safe, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Wearing masks, washing hands, and making our radio programs at home. So it's pretty exciting. And like I said, I can't thank you enough for making the drive today to be part of this. Where do we begin? Where do we begin?
Where do you want to begin?
Well, I think a song would be great. Maybe we could begin with a song. Would you?
I'm feeling that.
What are you feeling song-wise?
I want to do a song. I tend to start with this one to help ease my nerves. It's from my first album, Like the Sea. The song is called Where Are You Now? And I wrote this just trying to figure my way back to myself. Should I just go?
All right.
All right.
Jerrika Mighelle, right here on the Midwest Music Hour.
You so far down. I have grown so small, but I have lived through to travel away from here. With this earth I will wash all my tears, climb all the walls that were built in me, and break them all down with the truth that I see. Close all these doors that have been blocking my way, and drink from the spring that will bring freedom today. I promise to find you somehow. Walk on, carry on. Walk on, carry on. Don't lose sight. It'll be alright.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You said that was from your first album?
Yes, my first album I released in January of 2017.
So you are just preparing right now to release your next record.
Yes,
And that is called The Brightest Star.
correct.
And you've got a single out. It's called Trouble.
Yes.
That was the first one that you released from the album. I caught a glimpse of listening to the cut there, and what a cool tune. Gritty, swampy. It's got that, it's almost like a spiritual. Is that right on kind of with how that came about for you?
Yeah, I feel like I was highly influenced by just old-time rootsy blues sound, and I had attempted it with another song, but this one goes even to a whole nother level with it. And calling it a spiritual, that's the first time I've heard that, and I feel spiritual when I sing it, you know? I feel like I'm tapping into something in some other plane.
Yeah, right. I mean, we could beat around the bush about it, but no reason to. The album was a tribute and came out of the loss of your mother,
Yeah,
you know, and all the feelings and emotions that go with that.
yeah. Trying to process all of that. It's a heavy weight to bear, and I'm so grateful I had music to help me get through the depths of it.
How big is your family?
I have 7 siblings.
7.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I'm 5th born, so I'm like one of the middles. And yeah, most of us were musical. 2 of my sisters and I were in a band together. That's how I got my musical start. And yeah, but music has always been it, and that was a huge love of our mom's too. It was her dream to be a musician, but it was also her dream to be a mother, and that was what won in the end.
What a gift. What a gift.
Yeah.
Not only for her to give you kids that growing up, the love and appreciation of music, but to have that transform into such a wonderful tribute
Yeah.
to her.
That's a good way to put it.
It's very touching.
Are you getting
I'm getting a little misty up here.
Don't do it or I will.
Well, it's a beautiful sunshiny day here in the northwoods of Wisconsin. You traveled here from Eau Claire. That's where you're from. And so have you ever been to the home of the Hodag before?
I have been here once before. One of my friends from the cities area, she grew up here, and she threw a surprise return home party for her sister, who was a fan of Queen Elizabeth, which was the band my sisters and I were in. And we surprised them. That was my one time here in Rhinelander. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, and I'm going to have to check out that Hodag sculpture, statue, or whatever you call it, before I leave and get a picture of it.
Absolutely, right there by the Chamber of Commerce building. That'd
Yeah.
be absolutely fantastic. We actually got a whole Hodag store as well.
Oh,
There's everything Hodag under the sun, you
I
know.
could get a Hodag knickknack.
T-shirts, signs, bumper stickers, and more, as Phil Wickham might say, you know.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, we're going to continue to talk about that. But, you know, once again, it's thank you so much for being here and for sharing your music and
Thank
a
you,
little bit
Scott.
about your path here with us and on the program. And is there a song that maybe you want to play next?
Should we do
a
Trouble?
newer one? You want to do Trouble?
Should we, since you brought it up? It's a
that would
big
be-
one.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Oh, I don't know if
I don't know. Well, we're doing all this hype on it now. Maybe we should.
You know, when I was here, I was talking to my friend Stovepipe Stevens. I had a session with him the other day, and I said, "Yeah, Jerrika Mighelle, she's going to be here on Saturday, and we're going to do this." And he says, "Well, what does she sound like?" And I said, "Well, you can listen to this brand new single that she's got out for her album that she's going to release. It's called Trouble." And he says, "You know, lots of people got songs called Trouble. This better be good."
Well, did he give it a try and see?
Oh, we loved it. Are you
Oh,
kidding
good,
me?
good,
it was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
I didn't even think of that. Of course, there's gonna be a bunch of songs called Trouble, but this one's mine.
Well, you know, Ray LaMontagne, are you a fan of him?
Oh,
He's-
yes, Trouble.
Right?
Mhm.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh, yeah, right? Just thinking about it, I'm getting like vibrations through the body.
Yeah, no, it's really amazing. And as we were saying, it's got the recording of it to me. It's got that sense of a spiritual, you know, stomp and holler, rootsy, and is there anything else more about the writing of that and the inspiration behind that? Were you guys really spiritual churchgoers as growing up? Did you have that experience like in a gospel church or something like that where that influence came through, or was that just derived from a love of music and being exposed to it and being in the roots scene?
I'll answer that for you, Scott. I grew up in under the Mormon religion until I was like 12, 13. So there's not a lot of singing in that. I don't remember ever singing, to be honest. So the love of music is what sent me to these rootsy spiritual kind of sounds. The film Songcatcher, which is about, it takes place in like the late 1800s, and this folklorist, song collectors going up into the deep hills in the mountains on the East Coast. What are those hills? Appalachia?
The Appalachian
And,
Mountains?
yeah, and she's traveling through and collecting songs. That's what this movie is about. Iris DeMent, I think she plays a tiny role in this movie too. And just the sound that comes from them is so awesome. And I've always also loved old blues style too. And I'm learning more and more about that because I'm having a stronger interest in it as I get older. So it's not upbringing, it's just a love of music.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Should I try
Right
playing
on.
it?
Yeah,
All right.
sure, that'd be great.
All right, this one requires some tea drinking first.
Some delicious green tea there from.
Yes, thank you for that. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is Trouble. Kind of about chasing demons or demons chasing you. I've been all alone, nearly lifeless, but I can feel it shaking in my bones. A powerful belief was once full, even though I would admit it. But now it's too late. Now I'm swept away. Trouble is coming, trouble is running, trouble is sliding right beside me. Mama warned me of this day. She tried to keep me safe, but now she's flown away, and I've lost all my grace. Mama warned me of this day. She tried to keep me safe, but I've always heard it's calling. Now it's knocking, 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 Trouble is coming, trouble is running, trouble is sliding right beside me. Trouble is knocking, trouble is walking, trouble is sliding right beside me.
Wow. That is crazy powerful.
Crazy powerful
You
or
are
crazy
awesome.
loud?
You are just awesome. You
Oh,
are
thanks.
awesome, Jerrika. That's,
Thank you.
I knew it was going to be a powerhouse when I heard that on the recording, but man, you just deliver the goods.
I feel like the house vibrated a little bit.
Shaking the foundation there.
It was an attempt to blow the roof off.
Yeah.
I'll have to try harder.
The one-woman wall of sound. That is Jerrika Mighelle.
Ooh, that's a t-shirt.
All right. I like it. I like it.
Yes.
Wow. So you are doing some great stuff for Folk Alliance International next week, right? Folk
Yes.
Alliance. Tell me about that. Tell me what's going on with that. You got some performances, some workshops.
Yeah,
Where do we-
I this is my first time doing it, so it's virtual, obviously, this year. So they're calling it Folk Unlocked, and I have 2 performances. I've chose the morning time because it's international. So the time frames of performances, showcases, are starting at like 6 p.m. and go all through midnight into the next morning. And I chose the morning slot. Hopefully there wasn't a lot of competition in the morning, and hopefully people will be awake. At 8:30, my first one will be February 24th, the day the album releases, at 8:30. And I'm still discovering what's available to me through it, but I also am super excited. I signed up for a mentorship with a folk artist named Mary Bragg, and I'm not terribly familiar with her, but I think that I was looking her up, and she definitely has a history, and she's amazing. And how cool that they put that in place for us who are trying to make it in some capacity. We get to talk to people who have and get feedback from them. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be tomorrow. And whatever else they're going to teach me about, I'm interested in social justice music too, socially conscious. So I'm going to attend some talks on that as well. So yeah, it's a Folk Alliance this week. It's going to be awesome. It happens to be at the exact same week as my album release. So that is pretty, it's perfect timing.
So, like, if you happen to be an in-person event there, you and this were the case, you'd be running around with a backpack full of CDs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Of course I would. Have you ever been to it?
I have not. It's on my list. It's on my list of places to get to. I've done some different creator conferences before and whatnot. ASCAP thing out in New York a few years ago. But yeah, I hear great things about the Folk Alliance International. I did an online session the other day about home recording. That was a lot of good fun. And but yeah, I'm hoping to participate maybe in some of this virtual stuff. I did sign up for your Thursday night live stream for next week.
Nice, thanks.
And maybe we can just touch on that. People
Yeah,
can
since
find
you brought it up, let's promote that too.
Join me next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. So this will be through, I'm from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and in my hometown, there's a beautiful theater called Pablo Center for the Arts, and I have been putting on Pablo streams during the pandemic, and it's been beautiful quality, audio and visual, high, they have the state-of-the-art technology. It's a brand new building. So my release show gets to be with them, and I'll be having a full band, the same people who are featured on the album, and you can register for it. It's free to attend. You can just go to Pablo's website, or if you find me on social media, or maybe a link could be dropped somewhere through this.
Yeah, I dropped some links to all these posts right now. So if you're on this, you can just go up there and get them.
Yeah, just register. It's real easy. Takes less than a minute.
Yeah.
But stay here to come back to this if you go and register
do
now.
it afterwards.
Do it after. But don't forget.
Don't forget. That just sounds like such a cool thing, because in this time, I mean, it's your second album.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do this thing at the Pablo with the folks that recorded with you. Are they your band? Are they session players that were handpicked? Are they hopefully going to be your touring band?
They were session players who I handpicked. Evan Middlesworth we recorded at his studio, Pine Hollow, and he also plays on it. He plays electric, piano, bass, and he produced it and mixed it. So he helped me pick, but I definitely wanted Shane Leonard on drums, and I wanted everybody that was there. Evan helped pick our bassist, Robbie Weishauer, and then my sister Elizabeth is on it too. She was the lead singer of our sister band, trio band, Queen Elizabeth. So, hence Queen Elizabeth. My sister Elizabeth is in it. She named the band after herself, kind of, which we always wanted her to change it, but like, what about us? But anyways, Elizabeth, and then my friend, it's sister banter, and she's not even here. She doesn't even get to hear this. She's not even here, and I'm bantering at her.
Of course.
And then Serena Wagner, who also did all the artwork. Everything you see visually is Serena Wagner's work, and it's amazing because Serena has helped bring such beautiful visuals to this very personal album. So Serena is wearing many hats.
How did you get in touch with Serena? Is she from the local community there that you were able to network with in that regard, obviously?
Yeah, I've known Serena.
Did she do work on your previous record?
No. Well, Serena did the artwork, graphics and stuff for all the marketing stuff for the first album. And I've known Serena since college years. And then now they are also in a band called Sniffle Party that is incredible, and it was on some major television show. And Serena's also my next door neighbor. So, yeah. So in our pandemic, Serena's been a little bit a part of our little circle, mostly in the summertime when it was safer to be outside. But yeah, I have highly talented people, and I feel entirely blessed, and I'm still trying to tell myself I deserve it. But I'm thrilled with how everything has turned out, and everything that everybody has contributed, all the help and their talents. Like, Eau Claire's full of so many talented people. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. You guys got just what they call the music mecca of the Northwoods?
Music capital of the North.
Music capital of the North.
Yeah.
There's so much going on there. There's been this resurgence of the arts, and Eau Claire has always been kind of an area where all that's very conducive. You know, the universities and the proximity to the metro area of the Twin Cities and all that.
Yeah, it does help with where it is placed on a map, that's for sure.
But, I mean, yeah, so many cool things have happened there, you know, including the creation of the Pablo, you know, going up. It's just, was the breaking point the Bon Iver, thing a couple years ago that really just brought national attention to the town, and then gave people the notion that, hey, in rural America, the arts can help us succeed.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we have this local arts paper called Volume 1, and Volume 1 has been a huge platform in which to share the arts. And I didn't know we had so much art here until Volume 1. And then obviously Justin Vernon and Bon Iver blew up, and Justin has always been a very supportive and just has always put Eau Claire in one of his priorities, and he has helped build it to be such a beautiful art place. We have a lot of gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude for him for everything he's done in the arts community for us. He really has.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and so cool that the art. It's just one way that the arts just continue to give back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful circle and a cycle.
Yeah,
and
it is.
And how is obviously you mentioned that you've been doing these live streams from the Pablo because in this time of COVID and pandemic, it's tough to get together with your musicians and play a gig or go to the studio sometimes and make an album. Really rewarding to be able to stay in touch with some of the stuff that you're doing with those virtual concerts, and of course with what's coming up next week, a whole the conference that isn't in person, it's virtual, and it's still a way to interact and keep connected with the scene and the community and all those other individuals that
the Pablo, the people who run it, they've definitely created it's a cyclical relationship. They are giving us artists a platform, a beautiful platform to play from, and in turn they are getting attention, as they should be. And hopefully it helps with their revenue in some capacity too, during these crazy difficult times. But what is it, NIVA, N-I-V-A? It's an organization that has helped gain funds for all the venues across the country. And Wisconsin has done a very good job of acquiring funds and helping out the venues. And Pablo has been lucky enough to receive some of that too.
Very cool. Yeah, it's so important that places like that are able to exist.
Oh my gosh. I do not want Pablo to go away. I don't want any of the venues in Eau Claire to go away. So hopefully they will maintain and continue.
Along that line, you want to do us another song?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
That's right. I have a guitar here. Let's do... Gosh. How do you follow trouble? Maybe I shouldn't have done that then. Let's do, here. For some reason, I'm feeling a song called Train Song. Train Song I wrote also on my first album. It's a song about forgiveness. The first album is mostly about a breakup and the process of coming back to myself after that. And the Train Song is needing forgiveness so that I can move on and that person can move on too. So... maybe I'll drink a little tea.
It's Jerrika Mighelle right here on the Midwest Music Hour, a special live from the living room session. This is her with her track, Train Song.
All right. I did longing for peace to find my soul.
Train song. That's so cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You mentioned Dar Williams when we were talking just earlier.
I don't know if I did. I don't know her music well.
Okay.
Should I?
What does that matter, right?
I know that I heard her name a lot back in my late teens, early 20s.
I guess I was just going to ask you to just maybe share with us some of your musical influences.
Ooh, yes.
And
I love, probably the biggest one is Patty Griffin and Peter Gabriel. Patty Griffin for her songwriting and her incredible voice, her melodies. I guess, now that I'm thinking of it, her song Cain, which can only be found in like the Lilith Fair Volume 2 or something, is so incredible. She's rootsy. She's just kind of like a spiritual, and I'm bet I was very influenced by that in my own playing. I also love Tracy Chapman. I was very influenced by her socially conscious songs. I've always felt like she's been telling my story a little bit. And Peter Gabriel, I grew up listening to him. We'd go for long car rides and let's put Peter Gabriel on. My favorite album ever is Secret World Live, which is his live album from his album, from his tour, his Secret World tour. Who else do I love? More recently, I would say I love Phoebe Bridgers. I wrote a few songs with shortly after I first heard Phoebe Bridgers, and man, Phoebe helped me cry out my grief when I first discovered her after my mom passed away. I can't think of it. I'm trying to. S.G. Goodman is somebody just within the past couple months. She's out of, I think, Tennessee, and she released an album that is haunting and I don't know how to describe it. Her lyrics are poetry. I'm a person who listens to lyrics, so if a song has good lyrics, it tends to pull me in, and if the melody is something that just like cuts straight through into my heart, that's what catches me too. And yeah, Patty Griffin is one who has always done it without fail. Yeah, I know I'm missing hundreds of others, but those are the ones I can think of right now.
That's an incredible list.
Yeah.
In terms of writing as well, are you a fan of poetry and books and authors and stuff like that? Have there been writers who have been influential on your writing?
I wish I could say yes to that. I wish I did read more poetry. But no, it's not. I don't know what inspires. I think it's just songs itself. I do read. I read a lot, but I'm more reading for like nonfiction and education. But no, I like to write. I've always liked to write poetry, which when I finally discovered this guitar when I was like, 28 years old, I was able to put that poetry into melodies and add music to it. So it seemed to be a relationship meant to happen.
Where did you meet?
We met in Colorado. She was sitting at a guitar shop, and I was just at the music store with somebody, and I just happened to be looking, and it was love at first sight. I didn't buy it right away. I went home, and the next day after that, I could not stop thinking about it.
Yeah, that's how you know it was meant to be.
Yes, you know. So this has been my guitar for like maybe 12 years now. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's got a great sound. It's a super cool finish on there, and
Aw.
that's your wear and tear, right?
It is, yeah. I don't want to put anything there. I like Willie Nelson's idea. Just let it be natural, Get the holes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that sticker, you've got a sticker on it that says "Truth and Love."
Yeah. Truth and love are the way. That's
Truth and
a
love are
quote
the
from
way.
my mom. We made a sticker out of it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sweet sounding guitar, and it travels really well for you. It's been your main instrument. You record with that in the studio as well, and
Yeah.
fantastic.
I know in moments when I was single, I was like, I'm not single. I got my guitar. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I've said that a time or two myself. You're pretty much married to your music, you know. If and everybody's got to find their place in the pecking order accordingly, right?
Yes, you do. And this guitar is up there in the pecking order.
Does she have a name?
I've never given her a name, and I've never really called her she either. So it's interesting. Maybe I'm about to name her.
Oh,
I don't know.
after 12 years.
I know. Do you name your instruments?
I was asked that a few years back, and the answer is yes and no.
Okay.
Because.
That's a great answer.
We could get into genders and whatever about, the instruments, and I have mostly heard that, guitars are qualified, engendered with the female gender, right?
Mm-hmm. Is that curves?
Is that why?
I imagine that's why. That's what I see.
I mean, guys have curves too,
Okay. Point taken. I don't know why it's gendered girl.
Yeah, and then so I've named a few of mine, and then some sit without names, but I don't know. I mean, I had my first dog was like a Cocker Spaniel, and her name was Daisy, and so I named my outright bass Daisy.
That's a sweet name.
It's sweet bass, it's got its flaws or whatever, but
sure, like all basses and anything. Not to pick on basses. Sorry, basses.
No, just pick on the bass players. That's what they deserve it, right? So getting back to the creation of this album, Brightest Star, when you're sitting in the studio, you mentioned that you had the producer that you worked with helping you kind of assemble some parts of the crew. You had other people in mind that you wanted to work with. Where do you go from here with that? You've got this concert next week. Is with the pandemic and everything, obviously live shows are severely limited, but is there a light at the end of the tunnel for you and for that group and for for going out there and giving her?
That is a question that's still out there waiting for an answer. I would love to book a tour, and if this band would love to come with me, or at least you don't have to love to, but if they would come, I would love it. But it hasn't been anything we've talked about. It was, at this point, they were my session players that I was lucky enough to have be there with me. And I know they're all very talented musicians. They each have their own projects, and but there's no plans because I've seen musicians book tours, cancel them, book them, cancel them over and over. And I'm just going to wait it out and see. I have a full-time job. So I'm making money. I'm doing okay. Obviously, being a musician would be an ultimate goal. But we'll see. We'll see what this album does. We'll see what virtual streaming does. We'll see what happens. It's just a huge, giant question mark, and it is for a lot of us musicians.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully everybody can continue to just keep going on and existing as ones, because it's brutal when you talk about like pivoting or, trying to compensate doing this or doing that. It's just, it's a tough world to be living through and working through, but obviously it's something that we can all do. Hopefully we can anyways, right?
Yeah.
Well, prior to that, like with your first album and all that sort of stuff, you're doing a lot of solo gigs normally, or gigs with your sisters, maybe small ensembles and whatnot, and so this would be like an, maybe like an obvious next step of
another level.
A whole nother level.
That's a whole nother level, yeah. Yeah, I did a lot of solo stuff, mostly solo shows. But whenever I invite my sisters to every single one because they can sing harmonies to any of the songs. They are on, both of them, Elizabeth and Jerrika, who are, I say both, I have 5 sisters, but these two, the 3 of us were the musicians. They are on Like the Sea. They're all over it. All their harmonies, I love it. So they always get invited, and I tell them it's an open invitation, but they're full-time workers, full-time moms, and it's hard for them to fit this into their life with their professional careers. They're both librarians. I don't know how that didn't happen to me. I worked at the library, but...
That is so cool.
Yeah, it is cool. They're great at it.
I love libraries, you know.
Let's talk about libraries. I love them too.
And how are libraries doing right now, right?
Oh, man. The one in Eau Claire's been shut down, and they are not shut down. They just don't let people in. They do curbside pickup.
Oh, sure. Order your book ahead of time. Pick it up in the Dropbox.
Yep.
Gotcha. I mean, it's still such an invaluable resource for a community to have. And
please use it, people. There's so much more than books at a library. So much. And the books are awesome.
It's tough, too. You know, talking about, like, socially conscious and, you know, social justice and basic human rights and everything, and how we relate that to libraries. There was just something going on down in, like, the Wausau area with their library system. And I don't know, are libraries political where, you know, you can be in, like, a group of I don't even know how it works. I'm here asking a question. I don't even know the context of what's going on, right? But, like, you could be part of a group of libraries and then all have access to, like, the materials and share them and intersperse, like, those resources with other libraries in that network. But
libraries do get wrapped up in controversy sometimes. Some towns or cities that they're placed in aren't comfortable with the content that libraries will, you know, have faced forward. But libraries are part of the community, and it is their mission to reach everybody in it. So, like, say, you know, a book about my 2 moms, that could be controversial in another library. I know our library in Eau Claire, they're very social conscious. They're advocates for social justice. And I really appreciate how they are. But I know that libraries, because of the power they have, you know, they could abuse it and push other jargon and rhetoric and stuff that just promotes a conservative ideal and age-old ideas instead of moving forward. Libraries are a foundation and a community. I feel like all of a sudden we're going off on libraries. I do love libraries. I told you I love them.
It's great. I mean, we of course we do. But you know, it's very interesting to even just think about that for a second, because it's there as like a source of knowledge and a fountain to be, you know, drank from, right? Like all those books, all that information, the resource.
Yeah.
And if somebody, you know, is almost like able to manipulate access to that or the content within that, that's kind of an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah, you gotta be, it's power,
You know, is it a public library for everyone, or is it a privately controlled organization that, you know, I mean, if it is privately controlled, and maybe they can do what they want, obviously, you know.
Right.
These are the things that, well, but I don't know. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we get down a deep rabbit hole in that sort of thing, huh?
It's my language. We're speaking my language now.
Whoa.
But it's definitely something to think about that I didn't even think about it till my sisters were, you know, going to school studying it, and they're good at what they do.
Right on.
Yeah. Go to your library. Support them.
Support them libraries. I know that some libraries are out there that even have concert series with artists and everything.
Well, if we want to talk about that, I'm a juror on Eau Claire's library. It's called Sawdust City Sounds, and local musicians can submit their work, and then if it's accepted, it gets to be part of a playlist. It's kind of like the library's Spotify.
No way.
And you can go there and access all the music for free.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I think that there it is. That's what I'm saying. Libraries do more than just offer you books, and it's in a place where you have to be quiet. It's not that. And they host shows then where they feature the artists who get into these into the Sawdust City Sounds. During the pandemic, they had virtual shows. But yeah, see, just saying, love your library.
Love the library. We're going to hear Trouble on that playlist pretty soon, right?
Yeah, that'll be, I'll submit it next time.
That's not a conflict of interest. It's fine.
No. But seriously,
they better carry it. Right?
I know, right? I'll just give it to you. I know.
You got another song cooking there? And
yeah, I do.
I
have another single that's out right now, too, that I'll play that song. I just have to find my... Oh, I dropped one. Here it is. This song is Brightest Star. It's the title track. And this song I wrote as an answer... Or not as an answer. Rewind. I wrote this song because my mom said energy never dies, and she said she would live forever, that she's not going to die. And so I got to thinking, well, if that's true, then how, if you're somewhere, someplace, in some capacity, how do I reach you? So this song is asking that question. So this is Brightest Star. On the upcoming album, you can stream this anywhere right now. In the album, it's played, Evan Middlesworth plays piano on it. It's beautiful.
Right on. Well, we're looking forward to hearing it. Thank you so much for sharing it with us here on the Midwest Music Hour, and appreciate everybody who tunes in and supports WXPR, our local community public radio station. And wow, this is so exciting. Thank you so much.
All right. Ready? Okay. When will you come back? How will I know it's you? Is it something I'm missing? Something I've yet to do? How do I reach you? Find the truth. Is it a map of lessons that will lead me to you? When you left, you became everything. Oh, the sun and the moon exploded with you when you left. You became everything. Oh, then why, my dear love, am I still missing you? All these things that surround me now, they're just things. They don't matter now. All I want, your arms to surround me now, and your soft voice ease my doubts. Do I feel you now? You're the brightest star, brighter now. Do I feel you now? You're the brightest star, brighter now. Oh, 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 oh. Do I feel you now? You're the brightest star, brighter now. Oh. When you left, you became everything.
That's just incredibly beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Self-taught musician.
Yeah.
You know, I was reminded of my buddy Tony Cacchetti. I don't know if you've met him. He also had aspirations for the ball diamond.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Baseball. I loved
These
baseball.
musicians that are baseball players.
I don't think there's many of us.
That sounded like such a really cool story.
Oh, man,
when
yeah.
when I read that, you know.
That was my first dream. Like, my first love was baseball. I loved it so much. I remember seeing Pride of the Yankees with Lou Gehrig, or the Lou Gehrig story with Gary Cooper. Or is it Cary Grant? I always screw those two up. Anyways, so good. And I just felt I loved him. Lou Gehrig was an incredible human being, and I wanted to be him. And then Babe Ruth, of course. Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth were the famous Yankee ball players. And it got me into baseball, and I became a pitcher. I was told, and I don't know how accurate it is, that I was the first girl in Little League Baseball in Eau Claire. Pretty sure I was one of the first in Mondovi, which is a tiny town next to Eau Claire, when I lived there for a short time as a kid. But there's not a lot of girls who play baseball. But you know what? I think there's way more that would if they weren't always, directed towards softball. Softball's a great sport in itself, too. I played that in high school because that was my only option. But I love baseball. Then I grew up and I got to play on a semi-pro baseball team, women's league, that the South Bend Blue Sox traveled around. That was a fun summer. 2 summers I got to do that.
Bitchin'.
I know.
That's awesome.
I was a pitcher and a shortstop. I just loved catching balls and throwing them as hard as I could.
Right. That's great. Now, when you were traveling, this is a traveling league, obviously,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, after you play the games, is everybody, heading off, on the bus, getting ready for the next? Are you ever having stopovers where you're able to go down to the blues joint and catch some tunes? And is there a? I
wish I could say yes. I was 19 and 20 years old, so I was too young. I mean, maybe I was 21, 19, 20, 21. But I didn't even think about that. I loved music, but it hadn't entered my life as a I haven't, learning instruments. I didn't learn how to play anything till this guitar, 12 years ago. So no, what a great story that could have been. Maybe stay tuned for that. I don't know.
Self-taught on the guitar, or you had some help in that?
Self-taught. I like to say that Patty Griffin taught me, because I went onto, I think it's ultimateguitartabs.com, and I found her songs, my favorites, Mary and Up to the Mountain and Heavenly Day, and I started learning her chords and what she did, and then I started messing around with them and putting my own lyrics and making my own melodies. But it all started with Patty Griffin and Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Was a jumping off place too. Taught myself, or they taught me,
Yeah. Somebody, Nikki's out there. She said she thought she said, I would love to hear you and Jerrika sing a rendition of Red Rain by Peter Gabriel.
Such a good song. I haven't thought of that song in so long. Thanks for bringing that up. All right, well, can we make it happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We could work on it. Work on it. That'd be super cool.
I don't even cover any of his music. I know a couple Patty, but none Peter. I love Red Rain though. Come Talk to Me. Who was this? What's her name?
Her name's Nikki.
Nikki, good suggestion. I love it. Now you're making me think of all the Peter Gabriel songs, and maybe I'll get into those.
It is kind of that could. Well, a lot of the gigs that you're playing, are they original music format? Were you able to do that?
Yeah, they're mostly original.
Wind in a cover of tune here and there?
I do covers here and there. I don't know if you're allowed covers here. If you want, I can play one. If
you'd like to, you are certainly more than
I'm welcome to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, As far as I know, nobody.
All right.
Nobody said so far you can't let people play their
Right.
whatever song they want to in your living room.
You do it
know?
till they say don't.
Peter Gabriel calls up, his lawyer calls up next week and says, "Oh, hey man, I heard what you were doing up there. I thought it was pretty cool. What's her number?"
Okay, good, right. I was going to say, if we get the attention of Peter Gabriel for doing a cover, that'd be incredible. Yeah, I do covers, though, when it allows. It's mostly original, and the covers I choose are just ones that happen to just, like, I fell in love with, you know? Like, I don't know, now I'm thinking about it. I can do Up to the Mountain by Patty Griffin. I love that one. It was actually also my mom's, one of her favorite songs. So tying back to the album.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do that? Should I jump into a song?
Sure, let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do it. That sounds awesome to me.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Thank you, everybody, for listening, by the way. I'm Jerrika Mighelle. That's me. And this is Patty Griffin. Song. Okay. I went up to the mountain because you asked me to. Up over the clouds to where the sky was blue. I could see all around me, everywhere. I could see all around me, everywhere. Well, sometimes I feel like I've never been nothing but tired, and I'll be walking until the day I expire. Well, sometimes I lay down, no more can I do. Then I go
That
Up to
was
the
beautiful.
mountain.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There's just got to be. I think there's something about the honesty in the artistry that is what draws people to connect with a songwriter through their performance and through their music. And to have such an unabashedly honest album in this release, Brightest Star. I said it earlier, but it seems like it's just such a huge gift, you know, not only from where it came, but to where it goes.
Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. Thank you for saying that. Wow. It feels true, too. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody experiences mortality, and how we deal with it is not always a positive way to deal with it. And so a gift to be an artist, to be able to deal with it through creation of that.
Yeah, wow.
Sometimes it's destructive behavior that you know, that's how we deal with things, and this is a creative, you know, behavior, at least working through that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful source to be able to share the human experience through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I mean, so thank you so much for opening up your soul and your music and your art to me today with this session, and to the audience out there listening. And it's just really, it's raw and it's real and it's just so palpable. And it's an amazing thing to be working with a band in a studio, and Brightest Star's coming out next week, Wednesday, the 24th of February. That's going to be, you've been gearing up for it for a while. How long were you guys in the studio for? A few months, a couple sessions?
Good question. We just did it a Saturday and Sunday, and then I have a full-time job, so then we did Monday, or 2 afternoons, a Monday and Tuesday after that. So it wasn't long. These guys are professionals, and they nailed it right away. I was really nervous about having a band because, you know, I'm an untrained musician. I didn't go to school for this, and that the imposter syndrome hits really hard. It hits me really hard. Like, what am I doing? I don't belong here. Who do you think you are, Jerrika? But obviously, I'm doing it, and I need to shut that voice off. So when I went into the studio, you know, one of the things I was nervous about was, do I tell them how they should play? And I decided that I'm just going to let them create their own thing and trust the process and trust them that they know what they're doing. Because as we said, we picked them purposefully, and they did a beautiful job. And if anybody is dealing with the imposter syndrome like I often do, trust the process. Trust that you do belong exactly where you are. Yeah, but I got lucky, and or I don't know if I got lucky. Maybe I deserved it. Who knows? I think I'm being the imposter syndrome saying I got lucky, but
well, there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors and magic that happens when music is involved and all that. But you know, it's all creativity and the arts and coming together like that. Yeah, it's mystifying. So it is very fortunate, because sometimes that imposter thing is a reality in sense of there may be an unseen hurdle to overcome. People aren't connecting on whatever level, and so, gosh, now you have a non-productive workday that you just spent. Then what do you do? Oh, but I'm so glad to hear it was a positive experience, and everything just came together, and it's amazing when that does happen in such a way. And congratulations!
Super positive
on
the
that,
whole
for sure.
time. Yeah, thank you.
And how cool is it? You want to talk about your team for a moment? You know, because
the crew of people I got
putting out an
me?
album is one thing, but to have an
yeah.
amazing crew assembled to assist you with that's invaluable.
Oh my gosh, totally. I've had, Serena Wagner, who I brought up earlier, has done all my graphics and the album design, and helped me with social media. I had someone helping me with social media too, Nicole Johnson. And then I have a wonderful publicist, Karen Wells Verlander, and she's been working hard, getting the word out to all the press that I exist in the world, and she's done a wonderful job. And I would consider Evan Middlesworth a part of my team too, because he helped, he's been a mentor to me in that he is so generous with the knowledge he's gained, and he produced the album, and he will probably produce the next one if he I'm sure. Evan, will you please produce the next one? I don't want to assume.
We're making beautiful things here, Ev, bud. Come on, man. Let's keep her going.
Yeah. And obviously my family has always been a part of my team and super, super supportive. One thing that my mom, after she passed, is the greatest gift she gave me was my best friends, my sisters and my brothers. So they've been an amazing support the whole time.
Yeah, family's a super cool gift. The gift that keeps giving, right?
Yeah, it is.
Is there a song that you have that relates to like that part of your family? And your sisters, or is there a song that you guys like to do together when you're all able to be on stage?
Yeah, we do a Peter Gabriel song.
Get out of town!
Yeah, we do Washing of the Waters. We do that a cappella.
Right
and
on.
we just sing that. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't ask you to do it on your own because
it wouldn't sound right.
It would not be as
yes
as it would be with your sisters.
Right. Washing of the Waters we just called it River River. Honestly, we thought the song, because it's River River carry me home, and River River is like it's the main thing that gets repeated. So we had no idea it was called Washing of the Waters till we were full-grown adults. But,
but that's how you get away with making your own recording of it.
Exactly,
you know?
right?
Change the title.
We didn't do Washing of the Water. We did River River. Yeah, that's a song we do a lot. I don't know. I do have songs about like being an aunt, because I'm an aunt, as you can imagine. Then I'm the only one in my family who doesn't have a child, so I have the most nieces and nephews in my family. I win at that game. I'm a competitive person, but I have like 17 nieces and nephews now, and 3 great niece and nephew. I can't remember. There's too many, you know.
Yeah, well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard to keep track when there's that many.
Are they children's music is a whole thing, right?
Children's music? Yeah, it's an entire genre.
You experience that
what about
also, right?
I take care of a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I'm constantly singing and making up silly songs with them. I've created a lullaby to help put them to sleep. So I could do a children's album, maybe. It would probably be lullabies, because that's basically the only time we make up songs. But that'd be cool.
Sometimes it's difficult to find like hip children's music that adults can also appreciate for more than...
You would know, wouldn't you?
Oh, my wife knows a little bit more than I do. But
okay.
Oh,
I know, I wish I could point in the right direction. I don't even remember the names of any of the ones that we listen to. Storybots is really fun. That soundtrack, it's a show, but the soundtrack is really great too. It sounds like a bunch of Beastie Boys redone songs.
Yeah?
You might like that, yeah.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah. So any children, parents listening out there, or caregivers, Storybots is a hit.
Storybots would definitely be something new to throw in the mix. I think that's just it. These days with content and YouTube and all the algorithms and everything, suggested content or keep into a channel. If you put on Sesame Street, it's going to be Sesame Street for 5 hours.
For 5 years.
So it's always good to be able to throw something else new in the mix, and a market with ever existent room for growth and potential. Right?
Yeah.
A market worth tapping into, maybe.
Yeah.
But I say that.
I hear you. I hear you. It is something I've thought about. I will say that, because I do love kids, and it would be fun to perform to kids. Oh my gosh, that would be a blast.
Well, I think also that it gets, well, as you said earlier, you're a lyricist even when you're listening to music, and that's kind of one of those things where does a children's song have to be simple lyrically? Can it be complex musically? I think sometimes it's geared to be simple, and obviously that's important. They're developing, they're learning, they're growing. They need something on the basic level. At the end of the day, I think my kid listens to them Coolie Boys and Dead Horses and Trampled by Turtles all day long or whatever.
Kids have cool taste in music. They really do.
Absolutely,
they do.
So it's I'd always be interested in knowing how that really, I'm sure it has a positive effect on the growth
Yeah.
and development and whatnot. But does it? I don't
They
know. I
like
guess that
music,
was-
the children's music that the kids I take care of, they like it when it's telling them to move and it's giving direction or it makes them move. They love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because what's the all those songs like with hand motions or something, get them involved in it.
Yep.
Those are really cool. But there are like so many. There's a finite, but there's an endless amount.
Right.
Get that bottleneck towards.
I know. Actually I do have one song that I've been told several times I should make it into. It's just a stomp clap song. I'm just like dance, dance, dance. Come on, baby, let's dance. 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 That's it.
I love it.
It's so simple, right? And then you can insert names like, come on, Maddie, let's dance. Come on, Elton, let's dance.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Let's do that. Put that on your next. That's a future release.
It would be
right there.
fun. It would be. Maybe I'll. Yeah, I like that. It's a good suggestion.
Well,
It has been. I've been leaning towards it. Whoops. I've been leaning towards it for a while.
right on.
Should I do a song from the album, one that hasn't been released yet, so your listeners can get a?
A little sneak peek before next week.
Yeah. Is there time or what? Are you
Yeah,
feeling?
absolutely.
Okay.
Cripes,
Oh,
Is there
cripes.
Is there time?
Right. What is time?
What is time? Where does it go? I just want to let you know, if you're out there, you're listening in Radioland, it's JerrikaMighelle.com, GerrikaMighelle.com.
I've always wanted to turn it into a ditty.
Oh, yeah?
How to spell my name. I liked that.
Well, you can work that in there. That'll be part of it. But you can pop by at her.com and get links to her social media. And the album drops next Wednesday. That released the single Trouble. It's out right now. But the album is Brightest Star. And what's the name of this one? That nobody's heard yet. We're gonna get the chance to debut.
This one is Banks on the River. Nope, change my mind. It's the Grief Song. The Grief Song is a song I wrote when I was in the depths of the sadness of losing my mom and trying to process all of what that means. We lived together when she passed, and went from her always being there to just being utterly alone. So it was extra hard. And yeah, so this is the song that expresses all of that. Grief song. Saving more than right now. 'Cause this life that I'm living can't be mine no more. I'm broken, just like time. Time is broken, it's all a blur. So take me or leave me, I got nowhere to go. 'Cause these days in the city, I've never felt so low. I've lost my fire. Oh, I've lost my fire, lost all desire. She was my best friend, so sweet and so sad. Take me or leave me, I got nowhere to go. 'Cause these days in the city, I've never felt so. No, I've lost my fire. Oh, I've lost my fire, lost all desire. I've lost my fire. I've lost my fire. Desire. I've lost my fire. I've lost my fire. I never needed saving more than right now.
Jerrika Mighelle, right here on the Midwest Music Hour. It's a special live from the living room session. What a real treat it's been today to have you here for this session. I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed our talking and chatting, and yeah, I hope Rhinelander knows how lucky they are to have someone like you around here.
Oh, some days are better than others.
Today's a good day, guys.
No, we do. We have a wonderfully supportive community here, and it's really incredible to be part of it. Folks that support me as an artist and folks that dig what WXPR does. We've got our own little cultural hub that's, I want to say festering, but that almost seems weird to say festering, but
It's like
it's,
marinating?
it's marinating. Yeah. Right. It's marinating and slowly becoming a tastier,
Ooh.
exquisite dish.
Ooh, way to build off that. Yes. I love it. It's making me hungry.
Well, speaking of, yeah, let me just say thanks. I don't know, is there, if we could, I mean, we could, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. I mean, just for the sake of the program cutting down, one more tune would be amazing. I don't want to pressure you, push it on you if you don't want to, but yeah, then we, just for good measure for that and whatnot, that'd be amazing. I'd love that.
I will do that for you.
Super. Thank you so much.
I'm trying to think, should I do one from the new album or... You know what? Let's do this gritty one. Do you want another gritty one? It's, usually at live shows, I'm able to kind of gauge from the audience how they've been reacting and what they're wanting. I'm getting the sense, though, since my main audience is you, Scott, that you're open to whatever, right?
I love it all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you'll find obviously, I mean, that's why art is really, I mean, it's important everywhere, but sometimes in the middle of the Northwoods, it's even more appreciated because maybe it's not like a mecca or a hub where there's so much of it. It's just oozing, right? Sometimes you got to really seek out, and you're granted a wonderful opportunity to have something cool, like you coming to town and being on the program, and so yeah, when they see it and they find it and they love it, they appreciate it. It's what makes the community so amazing to be part of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would just take whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right.
Beggars can't be choosers. You can't go wrong with nothing.
That's true. You can't. All right. So this one is another one of those rootsy, gritty ones, and I wrote it before my mom passed away, and it was her that helped me feel comfortable with even exploring this side of my voice. Because when she first heard it, she's like, "Wow, Jerrika, your voice is changing on here. This is doing something special." So this is a song about inheriting the pain of your mother and your mother's mother and your mother's 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 mother. How trauma continues to pass through generational lines. And it's called "Oh Mama." Mama, oh mama, when you gonna be free? Oh mama, oh mama, dancing with the trees. Secrets you've held tight, try to keep from me. Oh, now I've absorbed them, don't know why I bleed. Mama, oh mama, why do I bleed? Oh mama, take your wounds from me. To you, dear mama, I have been true, but the weight of this burden is breaking me in two. My unborn baby, not yet conceived. Oh, please help me save her from this misery. Mama, oh mama, why do I bleed? Oh mama, take your wounds from me. Mama, oh mama, 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 why do I bleed? Oh mama, take your wounds from me. Mama, oh mama, when we're gonna be free? Oh mama, dancing with the trees, dancing with dancing, dancing with the trees, dancing with dancing. When we're gonna be free?
Jerrika Mighelle. Wow, what an absolute treat. Thank you so much again
Treat
for
for me too, Scott. Thank you.
really sweet, really cool. The album is The Brightest Star. It's released next Wednesday, February 24th. You can find it at jerrikamighelle.com. And thanks for tuning in to today's special broadcast of the program. Thanks for tuning into the WXPR. Thanks, Colleen. Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, everybody else. Oh, golly, jeez. And yeah, and like I said, next Thursday, it's that live stream that you're doing from the Pablo. You got the Folk Alliance International stuff all next week.
Yes.
Your week is slammed, jam-packed full. So if you're out there, you dug today. Obviously you did because you're telling me that you did. Be sure you check out what Jerrika's got going on next week and stay in touch because I would love to, when we're able to, obviously, maybe it'd be so great to have you and your band come here and do a live performance. You know, we got all these cool things, places you could be in the Northwoods doing a performance.
Yeah.
Art Start, Three Lakes, Nicolay, concert series, lunchtime thing.
Tell me what I can do,
North,
where I
whatever
can
it could
go.
be. it'd be sweet to have you back here.
Oh, I would love to.
Even if it was just you doing your one-woman wall of sound, you know.
in this living room.
In the living room. Maybe we'll get you over to the barn when it warms up. That'd be
Ooh,
sweet.
Yes, I can't wait. We'll make it happen.
Fantastic. All right. Well, as for now, then you take care of yourselves out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Yeah, wear the masks. Wash your hands. Stay safe. Take care until next time, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.